just a trolley, which one trolley is for housekeeping, one is for... Probably. The street should not be there at all. That's very weird, right?
No, not that. The pollution.
Ready. This is actually in front of him.
Yeah.
So the guests, when they're checking out,
from this angle,
sitting there. But this blue shouldn't be there. It's just probably someone is in training.
For a guest.
No,
I don't know.
when you have a butler training a new colleague, then
And
told them to be
there's
sitting.
none down there. It's okay.
There is no trolleys and no chairs. Oh my God, look at the car.
All right, hello everybody. Unbelievable pleasure and honor to welcome our Jelena to the show today. Jelena, how are you today?
Good, wonderful. Happy to see you.
Likewise. Jelena is one of us. She made it to the top hotels, and we will tell you all about her story in a second. But before we do that, let me introduce our interview team today. Nera Andrijašević. Hello, Nera.
Hello.
And Mona Panadić. Hello, Mona. And Elena Burgin. Hello, Elena. So without further ado, I will just turn over the mic to Mona. Mona, Jelena is yours. Please take it away.
At your service.
Thank you, Professor. So let's get this interview started. Jelena, just like the professor said, you're practically just like one of us, perfectly fitting the description of the girl next door who made it to the top hotels through your hard work and dedication. So we're all very curious to know how your career evolved.
So grateful for that. My life turned to direction I didn't expect it at all. So I was studying criminal justice, and while I was studying, I needed some pocket money. So I started working in a hotel, Hyatt Regency in Belgrade. And it's supposed to be just a part-time job for me. But as you see, it ended up like for now 10 years. So I failed 1 year in university just because of one exam or even quarter of one exam. So what I supposed to do is 1 year, just finish that one exam to wait for the next year. And for me, it was wasting time. And I wanted to do something useful, which is improve my English, travel, get another experience, because I have a whole year of doing nothing, basically. And I applied for transfer because had that option. After 1 year of working, you can transfer to another property if you get a job. So I apply, and I was not that confident. My English was terrible. And I got the job. I was surprised. And I was so happy. I was going to Dubai, and in my mind, I was going just for 1 year or maximum 2. And then I come back to finish my studies. So I was thinking 1 year in Dubai, another year in Maldives, dream about going to the islands or something. So what happened, I moved to Dubai, and I stayed in Dubai 6.5 years. So I was in F&B in Belgrade, then I was in F&B in Dubai, then I grew to reception. I did all jobs at reception. When I supposed to move to, there was option Maldives and Thailand. At the same time, I got an offer from Burj Al Arab, and they keep me in Dubai. So I knew I cannot reject that offer. It's a lifetime, once in a life. So that's a place where I also learn a lot, and I grow. Positions. After 6.5 years, I went to New York, and I stayed 1.5 years in New York. For Dubai, that was so hard for me to leave Dubai because it was like second home. 6.5 years. You learn so much, you went through so much, and then you're leaving all of that. But at the same time now, when I was living in New York, it was so hard, as much as it was hard living Dubai. So that's something when you travel, when you get so much experience, you meet so many people, wherever you go, you will miss something. You will leave part of you somewhere and you will miss some. Now I'm at home and I'm missing both countries. And that will always be like that. When I go to New York, I miss home, I miss Dubai. It's not just about the city, it's about the people, experience. But the best about it is like you're grateful with what you got, you know.
Now that we've heard a little bit about how you got to where you are, I'm really interested to hear about your time in Dubai because I've personally been there twice and I loved it. So I would really like to hear, did you like living there? Did Dubai impress you? What opportunities opened up for you there? And I mean, it must have changed you in some way.
Dubai definitely impressed me, and I think it's not possible to be not impressed about Dubai. It's not just about the buildings or architecture, it's about the way it's done. And you know how it is in our countries, in politics, they talk a lot, but they don't do that much. While in Dubai, they don't talk, they just act. And that's what amazes you, how fast they grow and build. And that shows some character of a country and people too. And Dubai is super safe, super clean, organized. And after Dubai, wherever you go, you see the difference. You see why Dubai is special. And you have everything in Dubai. You have beach, sea, mountains, desert, a lot of activities. People thinking usually they cannot go to Dubai, there is nothing to do, just buildings. But no, you have everything. You have parks and animals and everything you imagine, everything you want. There's definitely something for you to find yourself in. Yeah, Dubai is really a special place. Like, why I wanted to go to Dubai in the first place was because there is all nationalities and everyone speaks English. Of course, we all speak with a different accent. So depending on from which country you're coming, like now, I know when I hear people speaking English, I know where are they from. And like everyone in Dubai can judge that. While in America, people have no clue that, for example, I'm from Serbia because of my accent. But in Dubai, we all know who is Russian, French, Italian, I know, Chinese, Korean. Like even these small differences you can differentiate. And I learned a lot. Like I had 17 nationalities living with me, different nationalities, because the turnover is very fast. People come like to be interns 1 year and they leave, someone else comes. So I had 17 nationalities and I'm so happy about that experience. It was not always easy having roommates, but I learned, and what I wanted to learn about people, cultures, how they eat, sleep, think, live, you know, everything. It's like deeply understanding that cultures. And that's really amazing experience for me.
Good to hear that. So now that we heard a little bit about your life in Dubai in general, I would like us to move forward with your experience at Burj Al Arab. So we know that it is one of the most luxurious hotels in the world. Aside from its architectural charm, why is it so special? And also, can you please describe the property for us and also the service philosophy behind it?
Service philosophy is stay different. Burj Al Arab is definitely different and special and unique. not because of just the building itself, the way it's built, also for the employees and the guests. The way we were taught, trained, tested every month, like you must keep up always. It's not like you just get a job and you have it. No, you always have to prove yourself and be on the top of everything, know about everything. That's non-stop there as tests. And like I remember once I had I think 99, not 100% in the test. My colleague would say, you got bamboo. So you get criticized if you're not perfect. We all must be perfect. We all must know the best service that we provide. It always has to be like that, and the best in Dubai and the best in the world. And it is really a unique experience, not just for us employees who learn so much, but for guests who come there. You know, about Burj Al Arab, I cannot put even in one sentence or 1 hour. It would take a long time. I wish I can transfer that experience to you. How much I learn about people from all levels, and about the job and the trainings that I did, and so many inspiring people I met. That's something that stays in your heart, you know, wherever you go, that experience. So yeah, it's not just about the building as it is about the people most. And people who work there were all special. And everyone speak minimum 3 languages. And yeah, we only had one colleague who was speaking only English. She was Scottish, and she was special. You must be special to work there, as she was the best receptionist in the world, for example. So each colleague has something special about themselves. And I believe all of you can apply to work there. And if you work hard, if you're motivated, you have vision, there is nothing could stop you. You will definitely grow. It's very, in that hotel, management really respect your hard work and motivation. Yeah, that's really a special place for me.
Can you please describe your job in Burj Al Arab? What did you do and how did your career roll out?
So I started as receptionist. The position was called guest service executive. And then I grew as a team leader and room controller, and then assistant guest service manager. So I grow, I would say, like every 9 months to 1 year. And I knew from beginning that I will grow, because I really learned a lot in Hyatt, which I worked a lot without days off. And like I remember one month I worked without day off, and the long hours, and I really pushed myself so much through the trainings. Like if I work a split shift, for example, lunch and dinner, in between I would go for sales training. So I was really pushing myself so much. I was learning Arabic and everything at the same time. So when I came to Burj, that was like calm down for me at some point, like a work-wise. But I could easily express everything I learned. Just what I learned in Burj is totally different than what I learned in Hyatt. So I knew they saw potential in me once I came. Even when I came for interview, I'll never forget the day. It was my German front office manager. You know, on interview, they should not tell you that you got the job. But she just told me, oh my God, you're my number one. And I was like, oh my God, I think I got the job. You know, I knew that I got the job, but I was just afraid to celebrate until I signed, I think. But she was impressed with me when I told her what I was doing in Hyatt and how many like superstar awards I had and this kind of stuff. So the same, I got in Burj all these awards and good comments from the guests and from managers. So it's really, like I said, I didn't plan that happened to me. I didn't plan to move to front office. I went for sales training and I ended up in front office because they made me star and I felt good about it, I guess. I started loving people and making people happy. And that was my favorite part of my job, to make other people happy. So in Burj, it's everyone's job, but especially front office, because we have to concentrate on the guest needs and think about what could make this particular person at this moment the happiest. And we would do that, whatever it is, whatever it takes. And that's why Burj is special.
So obviously the Burj is not like any other hotel, and unfortunately, since we can't be there to experience the VIP reception, the guest check-in at the Burj, can you guide us through that whole process? How does it look?
So the check-in is not like any other hotel. Yes, we did have reception, but that was just to assist the guests who are passing by monthly. So the check-in process is, I'll try to make it short. Reception sent an email with all of the guest lists who are coming following day to security. We have security at the gate. It's like a gatehouse. So the Burj is on the island, and on the street before the island there is the gatehouse where security has a ramp, and they don't let anyone enter if they're not on this list. So when guest is arriving, let's say if guest is arriving by our Rolls Royce, we will get information from the driver that guest left the airport, guest is 5 minutes from hotel, or guest is on the gatehouse, security is calling guest, Mr. Domagoj Nikolić is here. Okay, I know what I have to do. So I already have, like we call it check-in slip, where is already prepared by night shift all the information about the guest, how many nights they're staying, what's the special occasion, how much they're paying, how much I should collect the payment from the guest, special preferences, requests. And with that slip, it's like in a closed book. I'm coming out in front of hotel and expecting the guest. So I already know in which car he's arriving, and I know who is the guest because there is a lot of people in the entrance, but you already know. And that's what makes him feel special, because from all of that guests who are just standing in front of the hotel taking pictures, you're just greeting him and, you know, welcoming him. And for him, there is lineup prepared from reception team, about like 5 to 10 people, depends how many people we have at the shift at that moment. And if you don't have enough, we will take butlers from the floors to come and join us for the lineup, just to make it bigger. And lineup, so we make lineup next to each other, standing. First person is holding the rose water, then face towels, there is basket, then the next person has the dates and the Arabic coffee. Arabic coffee is always a coffee man. Even this is a position. We had 3 coffee men in hotel, and they were just changing every shift. So his job is just to make a perfect Arabic coffee. And the next to him is person who is holding Bahur. Is this Arabic fragrance, which they believe it protect from the evil. So they will just do like, they will take the fragrance to them. I remember the first day, it was so hard for me because I was the tallest. Usually the tallest person stand at the end of the lineup, and I had to hold this. And I waited so long because I know what happened when the gate was closed, the guest didn't enter. And I had to breathe that. So hard. But after I used to it. And then after, like, the person who is calling Bahur, there's sometimes just the butlers or the managers or GM, depends how important is that person. If it is president, let's say, GM must come down from the office and he also have to greet the guest. Then in front of everyone, you confirm the guest booking, and you're ready to go to the suite to do check-in in the suite. Of course, all the way we have to follow the LQA standards and ensure that we mention everything about the hotel, at least 2 facilities, to introduce everything on the way, to introduce butler when you reach the floor. And when we enter the suite, we have to explain about the buttons, that how camera works. Like if we ring the bell, guest can see on the TV who is in front of the door. It's like your own apartment. It's a duplex suite, and that's how it looks like. We enter the suite, he sits in the business center, and I explain him on the registration card, which is already there, placed by butler. Oh, I missed this part. So when security calls us to tell us the guest is arriving, we call butler. While I'm going out to meet the guest, another colleague is calling butler saying guest is on the way. And then butler has time to prepare a welcome drinks. So when I already reach to the butler floor and the suite, butlers are in the suite with the drinks, and they're playing a special, like a welcome video, which I'm on that video too. Welcome video about the hotel. So even if I wouldn't tell him anything, if guest is just tired and don't want to listen to any introduction, when he reaches suite, he can see that video anytime. So yeah, I just scan the passport. I take the passport, I don't scan it in the room, I take it to the butler desk, and it's all like quickly done. I take a deposit, passport, and that's it. I introduce myself, I leave.
So as you already mentioned before, we know that you were one of the first choices in your team to receive celebrity guests at the Burj. How did you become the chosen one?
Professor knows everything. he told you a lot already, I see. Yeah, that is true. I think it's because of I was already experienced in Hyatt a lot with the people, and I learned how to calm myself and self-control and to deal with situations without calling managers to assist and solve the issues. So I just solve it by myself. So when it is some very VVIP guest, managers want to send somebody who is reliable and who will not waste the time. So let's say if a guest complain and I will call a manager, automatically guest is waiting and he will get more upset. So they need somebody that they can rely on. And I like to solve things by myself, not calling managers. Also, in future, it helped me grow. Probably that's how they decide who is going to be promoted, or it just was one of parts. But self-control is very important, to be calm and patient. And one thing I think it's about emotional intelligence or empathy, about understanding people. And I see them as every other human being, no more, no less, because they're just celebrity. Yeah, that's their job. I do my job, they do their job. I see them, I respect them the same way that I respect my colleague who is cleaner or my GM, totally the same. So there is no like excitement that I'm excited that Justin Bieber is coming. I love Justin Bieber, but just saying, it's an example. And even we know that guests would not like that because they have so much of that. So they want just a normal conversation, like normal, peaceful conversation without them feeling threatened by us. They should not feel that. And of course, we should not ask them about pictures or anything. No, they just have to feel welcome, peaceful, normal, like they're just any other human being. and knowing that you must act accordingly. Also on the way, because when you're doing check-in for a celebrity, you have a 15 minutes check-in on the way to the suite. There is many people might stop them on the way and want to take a pictures. It might be disturbing for them. So you must, in a diplomatic way, keep a distance with the other guests and have to make a balance with the other guests not to get upset and with the guests that you're with. So yeah, they saw that I was not shaking in front of them, and I was not stressed or nervous when celebrity is coming. I was just acting normal. So I think it's a big reason why they choose me. I'm great. I met a lot of presidents, ministers, celebrities, and I'm still in touch with them. And same as I'm with Mr. Domagoj Nikolić. So, like I said, for me, they're all same. It's just their job. If they're good humans, I would keep them as good friends. And that's very important job too. Yeah.
Good. Even though you partially answered the question, I will still ask it. So, how was your experience working with these VIPs and celebrities? Did you like it? And also, do you find them more or less demanding than standard guests?
There are those who are not demanding at all, and there are those who are very demanding. Experience is experience. So with some of them, I would spend 1/2 hour because they have so many requests. Not just because just like that they want to their celebrity. No, they really have their day is fulfilled with their obligations to do tomorrow at certain times, and you have to follow up with that and remind them about everything. Sometimes they forget that they have something, and you know before they knew. So you have to ensure that everything goes smooth and to be on the top of it. Of course, there's different characters, personalities, so emotional intelligence play a big role in that job when you work with people and with the celebrities too. You have to understand them, and that means a lot. When you understand them, they feel it, and that there is no issues. Even if there is issues, if they feel that you understand them, you will solve the issue. So I didn't have any problems ever. I'm just trying to remember. No, not with celebrity. Yeah, that's a nice experience meeting nice people. And from Burj, I met the same guest in New York, and we recognize each other. That is so funny. So when you spend some time with them during check-in and doing surprises for them and make their time memorable, of course they will remember you. So
can you tell us about your personal view and philosophy of the guest experience? And what do you think is the most important when it comes to personalization, communication, and establishing relationships with the guest? And also, where is the line between personalization and guest relations and personal relationships? And the last question in a row is where do we draw the line between friendly and friends?
So you will have to ask me again if I forget to reply some part.
No problem, no problem.
Because I'm talking and then I go far away from. So there was a few questions. So where you draw the line? Well, in Dubai, you draw the line. You cannot get personal with the guest. No, not allowed to have relationship with the guest, and that can lead to termination of your employment if you are in a relationship with the guest, which is forbidden. So they make it very clear with the employees from beginning, so they know that, okay, everything has to be on professional basis, and like not sharing personal contact, and seeing each other after work, or like employees cannot come to guest room, you know, that is forbidden in Dubai. There is no way that they will not terminate you. Like you're leaving the country in 24 hours if you do something like that. So they're very strict about it. So this is where they really like draw the line. There is no sorry, what was
Like your philosophy of guest experience, how would you describe that?
my philosophy? I would say the most important thing is empathy. And I don't know if it is given to me like from God, but since I was kid, I always could feel energy around me and how people feel. So I use it at work too. I understand how they feel, and I will just do according to it. So everything you do, even if I know that I have to leave the conversation, I will leave. If guest is tired, I know that, okay, I'm not gonna push and talk about facilities. I will make a check-in the fastest I can and smoothest and easy, and ensure that guest is going to sleep, and tell to butler, you're not entering the suite now, guest is sleeping. But if guest is communicative, want to talk, want to know everything about the hotel and about me, still I have to draw the line somewhere, because I know that I cannot stay 2 hours in one check-in, that I have whole team downstairs waiting for me and other guests checking in. So you have to balance a lot with all of that. So some guests like to talk a lot and to know a lot. Yes, you have to give them time, but you cannot give them all your time. But still, they should not feel like that you're just escaping when you have to. So you have to make a balance and make them feel good about everything you do for them. So I think that that empathy thing that I feel helped me a lot in my job. That's my yeah, I would say that was my philosophy, and it's really from my heart. You know, when you make other people happy, you are happy, because that was my purpose to do that. And when I see their smiles, or when they cry from happiness, I mean, what better I could do at that moment? Nothing. That's better than I expected, you know. So that kind of things make their day and your day, or maybe their year. They'll never forget that special things that we do for them. For them, it means a lot. For me, it's no issue to do that, not something hard. But for them, it means a lot, you know, because it's Burj, it's something special we done there. So I can talk about this until tomorrow, about all the surprises we done. I wish I could share it with you.
Okay, so I guess we can move on then to the next question, correct? Okay, so after a while, the moment came to turn the page and face new challenges. You went to work to another iconic hotel, this time the Carlyle New York City Hotel. But before we ask you specifically about that experience, can you please tell us your motivations to move to the USA?
Well, motivation to move USA, it was unexpected. Yes, I did have my American dream since I was young, but I thought that it's not gonna happen, because before, when Four Seasons offered me assistant front office manager, when I was just a team leader in Burj, they said that they're not gonna make visa for me and I have to do it by myself. So I thought it's not possible, that there is no company, because they said the company don't do visa for foreign employers. They have to do it by themselves. And I completely forgot about it. I was searching for Japan. That was my another passion. But suddenly happened that I got offer from New York, And it was really all of a sudden. So I was lucky that I had the GM from Burj Al Arab, and he recognized my work, and he knows how guests commented, how they talk about me, how I did my job. So he asked me if I'm interested in coming to New York to be guest relation manager. And I just said yes, but I was thinking, nah, it's not possible. Like, too good to be true. And then I still remember 2nd of January after New Year, I had my first interview. I went through all interviews and I passed all of it. So they arranged visa for me. And okay, but you asked me how I decided to go. As I said, it was very hard for me to leave Burj, to leave Dubai, to leave my boyfriend at the time, because I had everything there. I had my life there, you know. But I knew that if I settle for comfort zone, that I will not grow, because in Burj, we had a management, like people work 19 years in the same position and they're not moving from there. Of course, director position, it's a comfort zone still. And I know that I will not get it because he is there. But I want to grow. At the same time, I love Burj. I love my colleagues, my team, my guests, everything. But I want to grow, and I didn't want to forget what was my purpose at first. So I know that I have to leave comfort zone and move on. And it was really hard move. I can tell you, I was crying at the airport. I'll never forget the day. I was like a little bit scared where I'm going alone. I'm leaving everything behind me. There is no way back, but I went, and I don't regret. So that was really hard, yeah. While left is for my career grow, and sometimes you have to leave your comfort zone. And I know it's hard. You will remember this in future when you work. You will love your team and everything around you, but you know that if you want to grow, you have to move to another company. And people usually are scared from changes and go to places that they don't know anything about and afraid how they're gonna fit in and all. Don't be. It's, you know, we are humans. We can use to everything and learn everything. So still, you have to remember that's a job and that's what you study for. It's your career. You have to grow. Don't settle at the same place just because it's comfort zone at this moment.
Okay, so the Carlyle Hotel is definitely one of the most iconic global hotels. This is where the British royalty comes to visit, where various rock stars keep their apartments. The facility remembers JFK, Marilyn Monroe, David Bowie, Mick Jagger, Woody Allen, Lenny Kravitz, to name only a few. Can you please tell us about your impressions of the Carlyle? What are the similarities and differences between working in the UAE and USA?
Wow, a lot. Carlyle is really iconic as Burj is, but in a different way. So Burj is iconic as a building itself, the way it's built. But Carlyle has this history and it has soul. Like when you enter a hotel, you feel it's old, and you feel some beautiful feeling when you enter, because the people there, it's because of the people, or employees, I mean, they're so loyal to the company. Who start working there, they're not leaving, they stay there until retirement. So the guests who are coming to the same hotel, seeing always the same people who know everything about them, and they know about each other because they always see each other and talk. Plus, Americans are more free and open than employees in Dubai, who are very just professional and like no crossing the line. In America, they will talk about the family and how is your brother, sister. So that was funny for me when I came. I couldn't believe. But there is big difference in the mentality too. So what I was saying, yeah, the feeling of the Nera disappeared. The guests.
Here, sorry, I'm here.
The guests, how I say, why they would go anywhere else when they come to Carlyle and they feel like at home. You don't want to go to other hotel. You don't want to meet another employees again. You know, people are changing. You have to explain to butler the same thing, what you like, what you don't like. No, in Carlyle, the same people are there and you feel like a family and welcome. That feeling that you feel like at home, that's what keep people coming back. I was very nicely welcomed by Carlyle Hotel, the way they welcome me. They provide me accommodation until I found my own. I was living in a hotel 1.5 months. The beautiful room on the 21st floor, beautiful view on New York. So it's beautiful, welcoming experience. I will never forget that.
I would say the most impressive thing that we noticed from your career is your career switch. So you switched from prestigious guest experience to one of the toughest department to be housekeeping. So can you please tell us what motivated you to conduct this move?
Yes, so I mentioned you that it's totally different, Dubai and New York, not just the life or city, it's the rules and the law and the way of work too. So housekeeping in New York is the most challenging department because they have 150 employees who are union. Union is syndicat, kako bismo mi rekli. Sorry. So it's sometimes hard to deal with them. They have certain rules that hotel has to follow. I would say they are the law. They are the law. They can even close the hotel. So I have to explain you about the union first to explain you why I wanted to move. They can close the hotel if they want. Let's say if housekeeping attendants don't like the way manager is acting, they will all together go to HR and complain about the manager. If manager is not fired, union will come to hotel and they will close hotel. They will literally close hotel, like done, shut down. And there was many examples about other hotels in New York where they did that for different reasons. If guest will insult the employee and hotel does nothing about this guest, if they don't kick out the guest from hotel, the union will come and do that on their behalf. So union has that power. Like we say the union is law. They're really powerful. So it's hard to deal with employees because they feel that power, that often they use it in a wrong way, I would say. That's why it is hard to deal with them, because they feel, I would say, what power feel in Dubai vice president of hotel, housekeeping attendant feels in New York. So can you imagine that confidence and power that just housekeeping attendant feel just because he's part of the union? It's like, you cannot tell them anything. And whatever you say, you have to say in a way that you have to be careful not to use any word which they can misuse how they want to. If I say, I don't like wearing black uniform, and actually this happened, they tell me, oh, you don't like black? So means you don't like black people? You're racist? Da 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 da. And that can be escalated. So it's not easy to deal with them because they're just searching for something to find mistake in you, especially if you're a manager, and managers are not union. Management positions, they are not part of the union, they cannot be, only under management positions. So unfortunately, they don't feel like a team. I wanted to make that feeling so much. They don't cooperate like a team like I did in Dubai. Me and my team, we are one team. Not I'm manager, you are receptionist. Yes, I'm here to organize, to structure things, but we don't work separate. Like I'm one team and they're another. No, we are together. In New York, it's hard. Union always feel like they're one team and they're against everyone, or everyone is against them. So I wanted from the moment I arrived there, I wanted this challenge. I wanted to show them that it's wrong. It can be differently done. So I went for training first. They didn't want to give me position just like that because they don't know how I deal with people in guest relations. I didn't have a team to lead. I was just guest relation manager. I didn't have anyone under me. But I wanted to share my management experience to that team. I feel like they really needed that. And my director said, okay, you go for training first. Okay. I went for training 6 weeks. And from the first week, I knew they wanted me there. But firstly, I thought I was rejected for positions. I was like, yeah, I will not try. They don't know what I could do, and they don't believe, because especially because I look younger and I was the youngest there, I guess. Yeah, all people working so many years there, and I understand they might think like, who is this kid now to come and tell us what to do, you know? So I was lucky. I went for training, and they realized the way I was dealing with them that that it would be good for them having me there, because what was my vision I wanted to change is for everyone to feel like a team, to not have a bad energy and fights on daily basis. I want to implement so many things, but Corona happened. 1 year after my promotion, hotel got closed. So it just didn't mean to happen for me, I guess. And then my visa expired. So, you know, with the Trump situation, things are much harder, renewing visas and all that stuff. So maybe one day. But I'm still thinking about it because I don't like leaving something unfinished. I really had a big vision for that team, and I'm sad that I didn't make it, you know, it didn't happen. Corona have other plans for me, I guess.
Right. I'm sure it will work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my colleague asked you about the differences between the two hotels, but I'd like to ask you about the differences of your lifestyle. Can you maybe explain us how your life is different from, how your life in New York is different from the life in Dubai?
Oh, I just think I didn't reply fully on the questions I was talking. She asked me why I decided. So the topic is I wanted the challenge. Everyone, there is no, I cannot say there is no person, but nobody wanted to be housekeeping manager because it's very stressful and hard. And they're always afraid of losing their job and of conflicts every day on daily basis. So I wanted that, and people thought I'm crazy. Like, why you would want that? But yeah, I wanted that. I want this crazy challenge that nobody wants to. I wanted really, and until now, I still wish I'm there. And also because one day I want to be director of rooms, and I want to be good director. I don't want to just sit in the chair and give orders. No, I want to know how much time housekeeping needs to prepare these rooms, how much sweat. Even when I went for training, yeah, I went for management training, but I was cleaning the rooms and making the beds with team. I want to help them. And I was so happy doing this because then I understand how much time they need to do all of that, how they feel doing this, and knowing that I will know the perfect way to give instruction, and I will know what they're doing, not just sitting in the chair and giving instruction. So it's also an essential experience of being a front office manager and one day good director, I think. So now your question was the difference between lifestyle, Dubai and New York, right?
Yes.
Oof, very different. Um, and beautiful, both of them. For me, Dubai, because I love heat and sun, and always want to live in a place where it's always sunny weather. In New York, it was hard coming back to the, winter, seeing winter after 7 years. Oh my God, that was first I was about to cry when I saw snow, and then after freezing. And I hate cold, so that was hard. But about the lifestyle, there are some things that in Dubai you cannot do all the time like you can in New York. Like I love riding bicycle, and I would go by bicycle to work, whether it's rain or sunny. In Dubai, you cannot always ride bicycle. You cannot always be outside because it's so hot that you can't breathe even. And AC is in every building, in every taxi, every hotel, wherever you enter, it's AC. So you will not see people walking it all the time. It's like now it's nice weather. It's like spring. They call it winter in Dubai. It's our spring. So now it's nice time you can walk outside. Not that you will sweat in 1 second. But in New York, I was not missing any of this. I could go anytime and ride bicycle or run outside or sit in the park. In Dubai, you cannot enjoy sitting in the park if you're sweating and you cannot breathe. you know, this is some things about weather that for me means a lot. The lifestyle, the freedom in New York is amazing. The freedom, you will see people dressed in a different way and kissing on the street. That was for me, after 6.5 years in Dubai, where you cannot really freely kiss anything on the street. In New York, you can. Nobody will stop you or harass you because you're kissing. So for me, first was weird, but I was happy to see that because I felt like I'm coming back to the normal life where people can kiss and do anything or be whoever they are. They don't need to hide their identity. Like in Dubai, you will not feel free to say you are gay or whatever you are. In New York, you are free and you are so protected. So I was feeling good seeing that people feeling safe about who they are and they don't have to be scared. That is something, being impact, I would say. But the lifestyle, you have clubs, parties in both sides. In New York also, like in Dubai, you cannot go with the alcohol on the street, holding the bottle and drink. I was impressed by this as well. I didn't know that it's same in New York. So you cannot, you are drunk, you can be drunk, you see drunk people in the street, but not like with the bottle, like in Serbia. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, apart from that, the freedom is really, and the human rights in America, like how it works, how about everything. It's they put so much into it. The human rights are so important. Yeah, there is so many people, you cannot make everyone happy, but they're trying to set the law that people are aware, okay, if someone harass me in this or this way, I can sue them. While somewhere else in Dubai, you might be terminated if someone say, oh, he's gay and I don't like the way he look at me. Oh, that I saw that, and this will not happen in America. So, but both countries have, I would say, pros and cons with lifestyle. In Dubai, you're super safe, while in New York, oh no, I don't know about other people, but I always had my eyes open, and I was always looking, because I'm alone in New York. I'm female and I have to be careful. There was many people attacking me. Oh my God, I could tell you stories another time. But I learned how to be careful. In Dubai, you don't have to be careful at all. 3 a.m. you can sit on the beach, sit outside. You don't have to lock your door. You're really safe in Dubai, because oops, 1 second. I lost you in a second. People know that people are afraid of Shariat law in Dubai, and they don't want to commit any crime or do anything bad, not even insulting you. In Dubai, nobody will insult you, nobody will tell you any bad word, because they know they might be charged for that. While in New York, I'm riding bicycle in the wrong way and I see insults from everywhere. But I still love New York, even it has it's not clean like Dubai. It's dirty, garbage, taller than I am, rats everywhere crossing your way. I love that city. Really has a soul. Everywhere you go, you feel it. You feel the soul of New York. And at the same time, Dubai is clean and you loved it too, you know. So I love both cities so much, with all their good and bad sides. I'm sure I missed a lot of things. I didn't say everything, but I tell you some part.
Well, Jelena, it's nice to hear such wonderful stories about your lifestyles, both in Dubai and New York. But what's happening now has vastly shaken the industry and the balance in it. So we have a COVID-19 situation. Can you please tell us how it affected hotel and what happened thereafter?
What happened with the Carlyle?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So they didn't want to close. Of course, no one wants to close the hotel and crash the business. But in New York, they had to, like in many other countries. And it happened on 15th of March, a week after my promotion. So from then, so since the 15th of March until 2nd of November, hotel was closed. Now they're slowly opening, but the rules is how they call it, new normal. So, and especially with housekeeping, you know, hygiene, and, you know, because of COVID, disinfection and stuff, they had to disinfect every area, every object. Colleagues have to wear masks, and it's not easy to wear mask 8, 9, 10 hours. And also guests who are going through lobby have to wear masks. But for Carlyle, it was not hard and like business loss like for other hotels, because the Carlyle, we have also few residents, and on monthly basis they are paying service is like $60,000 plus. So even though they have their apartment, they're still paying for service. Their rooms has to be clean. So if you compare it with other hotels who have no income, Carlyle is still okay. However, they had to let go many of us, starting from the directors to managers, and then to line staff like receptionists and others, because there will not be so many guests coming. Maybe, I'm not sure if this is the reason, but no need for so many managers as well. If you don't have many guests, in my case, I agree I should be let go because my visa is expiring, and they were paying me a few months. Even they knew they will not be able to keep me. They try to keep me to change my visa, but they know that when hotel open, my visa will expire anyway. So why they would be paying me a half year and I'm not working, you know. I was lucky to, and like all Americans are, to get unemployment. I was impressed that it's possible. So I don't know about other countries, but I'm not sure anyone does like America. They pay you if you're unemployed. So even while I was still employed and getting money from hotel, you're not physically working. So even those who are fired and who are not, but hotel is closed, they're all getting unemployment from country, from government. And it's $1,000 per week. Just to put the charger. So that's why Americans are feeling good and safe in their country about, you know, they're not gonna be hungry. Yeah, you will see on news they talk like many people lost jobs. Yeah, they lost jobs, but they didn't lose income. They have money, and I'm telling you, this is true. I'm not American, and I was getting unemployment, and I appreciate it so much. So whether I was still employed and when I was not, I still got this unemployment. Even I'm not American and I have no green card. I was just a worker who was paying taxes and working, and that's why I feel like as a thank you, I got unemployment. So that's very good part about America at these times. They know how to protect their citizens when needed. So yeah, don't believe in news, everything you see. It's not that bad.
So saying that, what are your future plans? What ambitions would you like to materialize?
So for now, I'm not working right now since March 15, and it's been like 7 months plus. Now I'm at home waiting everything to get normal, but not just sitting and waiting. You know, I don't like wasting time. So there is a lot of things I wanted to do while I was working and I just couldn't, which is yoga or playing piano or learning new language. So now that's the things I'm doing. I'm going for piano classes, and I'm doing some courses online. And I advise you to do the same. Yeah, I'm so glad actually for this time. I'm trying to take the best advantage I can from this situation in the world, because I would not have time to go for piano classes. You know, I'm 30 years old now, and like everyone will tell me even like, why you need to do this? No, I just want to from my heart. I'm sure there is so many things you wanted to do when you were young, and nobody pushed you to do it, nobody support you, or you just didn't have time. You're so hardworking studying, you don't have time for something that you wanted. I'm sure it's not the only thing you like, hospitality studies. So there is so many things. I advise you to work on yourself and invest in yourself. That's the best you can do. And now is the time, because now you have a time. And definitely things will come back to normal. This will not be forever, you know. I'm sure things will be better soon. And you have time also to think, okay, which country you want to go. That's what I'm thinking. You ask me about me, what I'm thinking about Hong Kong, or because I always want to go to Asia. So like once in a life, like take me to Asia, some country. I love Asia, I love Asian culture. So I think like Hong Kong would be a good option, because Japan, which I love so much, will not take me that easy because I don't speak Japanese. But Hong Kong, I guess I would get it easier. But I don't know. Let's see what's gonna happen. If no, I wish I could come back to America, to New York. I don't know. But for until then, I want to do things that I always wanted, which I mentioned to you. So I'm sure you can also do a lot of things you love. You have some sport or anything for yourself that will make you happy and satisfied until your career, kako se kaže, stao mi mozak, like a rocket, take off. Yeah.
Right, so unfortunately, we have to come to an end of this wonderful interview. So to conclude, what advice can you give the new and aspiring hospitality professionals joining the workforce right now?
Yeah, actually, that's the one I just gave it right now. Do something for yourself, your body, health, your soul, whether it's a sport or learning something new. Invest in yourself, because now you have time, plenty of time for that. And when you start your hospitality career, you might not have that time, and you will appreciate this time. And you may regret, oh, why I didn't do this ahead of time. So do it now, because when you start working, then you will be hard worker and you want to grow and learn just about that. You will give all of you in this, but now you have time to do everything else. So things will definitely get better, and when all hotels open, they will need employees. So you will know where you want to go, and you're gonna be there wherever you want to be. If one hotel reject you, don't feel demotivated. Maybe 200 will reject you, but that's for a good reason, because the one very good hotel will accept you and see your potentials, and you will fit there, you will grow there, and never, like even if you have a bad first experience or bad management, don't let this demotivate you, because people tend to give up at that moment and just change career or go home. No, that's the time when you should not ever give up and just stay and learn and grow. That's the time when you should be strong and stay strong. So there is good and bad times, and you will learn to appreciate all of those times. Yeah.
Jelena, I think that everybody who will watch this interview will see it very clearly why you were chosen to work with VIP guests, and also your guest experience, philosophy of empathy and emotional intelligence, and things coming straight from the heart. So I really wish to thank you. We've in this series of interview, we've interviewed lots of people, and I could say that you're probably the most open when it comes to sharing details from behind the curtains. So I think that lots of students will appreciate this. So a heartfelt thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I think from everybody else who was in this interview, and I think everybody else who will see it later.
Thank you so much for having me. And I think it's important to share these things behind the curtains, especially for students, because usually people give them just fairy tale stories and in order to attract them to come to work somewhere. But you should be aware of no fairy tales also. So to know what is over there, to be prepared. Like I was not prepared. I learned in a harder way, I guess. But as I said, you know, you will have a bad times and good times, and all that, even with the tears and stuff, you will learn, you will grow within. You know, that will make you stronger person, stronger worker, stronger manager one day. That's why I said, like, never give up.
I'm sure that our Mona, Elena, and Nera are not quitters, and they won't be giving up anytime soon. So I want to thank them for conducting this interview too. Thank you, Mona. Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Nera. And
Thank you, Professor.
for having us.
my pleasure. And Jelena, I miss our time together down in the trenches of hospitality when you're giving us tours of beautiful hotels. So hopefully see you in Hong Kong or Tokyo. Right. Okay. So thanks everybody once again, and I will stop recording now.